Hey, car guys and car gals. Good morning. This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And you are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. We are so excited to get things brewing with you today. But do us a favor, because we're going through it right now. Go ahead and grab that device and tag a car guy.
Share.
Tag a car gal.
Share. Make sure that you get it out there. We want to make sure that we have people listening to this. We have Laurie Foster in the building. Oh, I kind of spilt the beans really quick. But listen, Laurie Foster is an amazing strategist that we are excited to share her story. She's somebody that I had a great conversation with last week, opened up my eyes to a lot of different things. And I'm so excited to be able to share what she comes from, how she got to where she's at today, and the experiences that she's had during those times. So, man, I'm going to tell you, Laurie is a innovator. She's somebody that's out there that's trying to help change this game up right now. And we're excited to have her here today. Folks, it's going to be a good show. So make sure you do share this. It's very important because this type of information is the type of information that you need to hear to be able to change this business, to be able to grow and see where it's going. And she's very intuitive, right? She knows what's getting ready to happen. I could tell. And when you speak with her, she definitely speaks future. She speaks what's going on, what's going to happen, and what she wants to happen. And it's going to happen. So I'm excited to have her here this morning. Lou, what a great morning this has been so far. We finished Car Church. We had a great time at Car Church, blessed by so many people talking some amazing things. We did some prayers and it was amazing. And we're excited to be able to share that light with everybody today. It's all about sharing that light, being the light. And when you have it, giving it to other people and letting them be the light too. Everyone is light and we need to be light. So I love this. I'm excited about this morning.
Really, really pumped up about it. And speaking of light, I want to make sure that we do shine a light on our incredible partners and friends over at Dealership Toolkit who are making sure to bring you this message. They are caffeinating this commitment that we have to bringing you a full cup of solutions every time that we come together. And this is a strategist today that can help you in so many ways. I don't have enough time to make the shows to explain, but we're going to be sure to squeeze what we can inside of your cup, but you don't want to miss this. So again, tag your friends, tag your enemies, tag those that you just want to see get to the next level and get up in here. But thank you so much for our friends over at Dealership Toolkit for always bringing together the right elements for people to improve their business. Thank you so much. So that is what happens when you get together with some people that put some tools into a box. They magically come together.
They do.
I've never seen a tool come out of a box and fix a problem. So we encourage you, Solutionaries, to grab the very best tools that you have. Go make something happen with it. But man, Fred, I want to get this show started. I want to go ahead. We got to get some music going. We got to get a little bit of a flow happening up here because we have a very, very, very special guest that, again, is taking the torch for those in the auto industry that want to go to the next level. We are honored to have a lady brewing some car gal coffee. Hopefully we are twinning, but we have the one, the only Miss Laurie Foster.
Well, cheers, guys. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. I'm so excited to have you here. Obviously, you heard us talking about you before the show started. And man, I tell you, you are an amazing person. You're somebody that definitely helped me open my eyes to just even my language, how I speak and the words that I put out there. So I'm so thankful that we are friends, that we are part of the same network, and that we're going to grow together. We're going to make this business better. So welcome to the Car Guy Cafe. We are excited to have you here.
Well, it's a pleasure to get this jolt of espresso this morning. Yeah. I love your message about the light because, you know, every single thing that I'm doing is about bringing light, bringing hope to people, creating solutions. And I often say, I don't have all the answers, but I've got this little flashlight with a couple of 2D batteries, and I'll walk in front and I'll hold your hand. I don't know exactly where we're going, but I'm brave enough to I'll take the lead. Let's go with this little flickering flashlight, because that's all we need is a little light and a little hope, and we can get there.
Amen. And that's exactly why I brought it up, because you've been a light. You know, ever since I've met you, I remember meeting you in person at Digital Dealer, and I got to sit there and just talk to you for a moment. And when I did, I just felt the energy. I don't know what it was. I don't know if you felt the same thing, but it was like, I need to know you. You're somebody that That's somebody that I just feel that frequency coming out of you that's mixing with my frequency very well. And we are going to do something great. And that's why I'm so excited to have you here today. You know, that light that you share, it's evident. You see it from you even when you're just standing there. So it's something about you. You have that je ne sais quoi, you know, that nice about you. And I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to share your light and have other people see this light so maybe they can go out in their day and be able to put more light out into the world too. So that's what you do for businesses. You do it for people. You did it for me. You called me and you just wanted to throw some light on me and say, hey, listen, this, you know, and I love that. And that's what's so great about you. You definitely make good decisions in a lot of cases. None of us are perfect, but you make a lot of great decisions. And you also have a very good mind on what's happening in the world. So it's exciting to have you here. Let's get this party started.
Yes, let's go ahead and get
before we do anything, we always do the 3 F's, Laurie, and our 3 F's are the forgive, focus, fly. And it's so important to do this because in order to grow, you have to let go of the past, all your mistakes, all your tribulations, everything that you've been through. It doesn't matter how bad you were even 2 minutes ago. If you could have completely screwed everything up just a second ago, it's okay. Your life is not defined by your past. It's defined by what you're doing right now and where you're going to try to go. So make sure that you do that and forgive your past so you can focus on your future, right? And when you're focused and you have nothing holding you back, no weight of unforgiveness, you're able to fly. And when you're flying, you just keep growing. You just keep growing. And that's what we're going to do here with you right now. And I'm excited to do that with you because it's our favorite thing. It's the secret handshake, part of the Car Guy Coffee Cafe, Car Gal Coffee Cafe, all that stuff. It's all mixed in there. It's the secret handshake. So we're
okay. I can't wait to learn it. Let's go.
All right. So cross your hands, put them on your shoulders. This represents the weight of unforgiveness. This represents those things that sometimes we pile up on our own shoulders. We're going to wipe those things off. Okay. Wipe them off. We're going to be able to focus and then we're going to be able to fly. So on 3, car guys, car gals on the podcast and live with us today with Miss Laurie Foster. We are forgive, focusing and flying. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing.
Keep growing. Keep growing.
She's in it. We love you, girl. You're amazing. Like as Alex Flores' favorite thing to say is you're amazing, right? And you are. You're amazing. And it's so amazing to have you here. We're so excited. So, wow, we have this 5-liner we love to ask all our guests. And this 5-liner is so much fun. It's 5 questions. And they're questions about you. And these questions, you know all the answers to, but it's good to share it because everyone's story is a little bit different. The first question is my favorite question. They're actually all my favorite questions. You'll hear that throughout the thing. But the first question is my favorite question.
Your first favorite question.
It's my first favorite question, right? It's my favorite first question, period. Hands down, all day long in the paint. What is your why? What's your purpose? What makes you drive every single day to do what you're doing?
Lifting others, giving them hope, and letting them see possibilities.
Oh, I know that. I knew that was going to be your answer because that's exactly what you do every single day. And that's what your purpose is. It's not just your business, but you do that for people. You know, you came to me, like I said, and you just threw light on me. And I love that. And I absolutely, it really made me a better person right at that moment. It really did. I felt like that. I felt like I was a good person, but it made me better. And that's what you're trying to do out there. You're trying to help make that transition for people to be able to show them the light. And I'm excited that you do that. Being able to help other people, that is ultimately what I believe I'm best at too. And I love that. I love that you're the same way. We're kindred spirits because being able to help other people is a beautiful thing. When you see other people smile, even if it takes away from you and you see them smile, it gives you more than you could ever imagine. And it's the best thing
for me, that's better. A lot of people call me an instigator because I like to light a match and step back and watch what happens. I don't need to be part of it. Let's just say I met the two of you at an event and you didn't know each other, I would get more joy, truly more joy and inspiration out of saying, hey, Fred, there's this guy, Lou, that I know, and you two will be #better together. Like you need to know each other. And I can step back and you two could, I always say, you're going to forget about me in 5 minutes, but just have fun with this. And that's okay with me because that is my goal in life is like making things possible. I use the hashtag also a lot. What is possible? And when you put the right people together that would never have met otherwise, it's just like magic. And I just take such personal and professional joy out of that. And the secret is you don't ever forget it. You remember who introduced you because it was a moment you wouldn't have had otherwise. But better together is my core operating principle. None of us can do this alone. So by inspiring hope and whatever, like you were saying, that sometimes we're doing really good things, but we're just a tweak away or a thought away from doing it even better. So sometimes we just need to be that inspiration and motivation for someone else to realize how, boy, we could take this so much farther, just a little bit differently, or of course, together.
I love it. And I've got the hashtag down there streaming, and it says,
hey, thanks. Everybody loves my people remind me of my better together hashtag. If I forget to use it, they're putting it in the comments. So it's like, yep, better together, baby.
So we totally agree with that hashtag, better together. There's something about that. Lou, what's that saying? One and then two.
One can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000.
Amen. And that's facts. And that's why you are better together. You can accomplish so much more when you're on the same mission, when you're on the same frequency. And that's why we have you here today. You're on our frequency. Matter of fact, or maybe I'm on your frequency, whatever it is. I'm excited to be part of that frequency. I'm excited to be there, to be part of growth, to be part of being together, to be part of making a change for the good, right? Trying to make the future for our kids and their next generations to where this business and life in general is just a better place to be for everyone. Black, white, woman, man, does not matter. You need to have equal rights. You need to be out there doing things together and growing together. So I'm so excited about that. Man, that's great. It's a great answer, Laurie. I had a feeling that's where you're going to come from, that from your heart, because I just know how you are. I don't know you too much, but I definitely know you enough to know that you're a helper. You love to help people, that you're a people person, and you're out there to try to change and help make a shift for people. So great answer. Great answer.
Well, we appreciate the heart that you have and the commitment that you have to bringing a positive light, because sometimes it's not received well. Sometimes it's not understood. Sometimes it's almost an instigator to those that are trying to subdue those that are trying to bring a light, that are trying to bring something that is positive, that is trying to bring people up. And all these people. So we have Jay that's up in here with us. We have Sandy over here. Forgive focusing and flying. And I know she's dancing the whole flow.
You know, right? She is.
We have Honey Donowitz. What's happening,
what's going
Honey?
on, Honey? How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Way to sweeten up this cafe.
Yes.
Adam Thrasher. What's happening, brother? Hello. Adam. So excited that we have people that we get to join us inside of the show, but there's people that we get to join up with inside of the industry, inside of this pursuit that got us to where we're having a cup of coffee and we're having a conversation. It's only because we're on that same frequency. We're all beating that drum. We're all inside of the chorus, singing our part and trying to amplify what it is that we're saying together. And that's exactly what Laurie is highlighting, that there is hope, that there is good news. And there's a good way to do business.
You know, Malcolm Gladwell's got a couple books. Well, I love everything that he writes anyway. But Fred, referencing back to when we met, his book, Blink, like, in an instant, trust that instinct. Like, I knew I wanted to meet you guys. I came over intentionally to meet you. And it's one thing to say hi. It's another thing to look somebody in the eye and say hello and just feel like you literally can feel in that moment, your body tells you this person is great, and trust that. Just trust that. Mm-hmm. He's got another book called Talking with Strangers. And I just highly recommend both of these books for everyone, but it's the same thing. Like, we find out through conversations that we have so much more in common than disparate thinking. We are at our human core. Forget about all the politics and everything. If you sit down and talk with someone, you typically get inspired, you get insight. And that's why with Better Together, it's not just a cute hashtag, and it's not just you and me, or, like this conversation, it's businesses within each other. People don't know each other and respect each other. Businesses to other businesses outside. The better that they put those. When we say relationships, that can sound, again, a little bit like, oh, we're going to go grab coffee. It means actually care, time, investment. And out of that, when you respect somebody, you listen more to them and you receive more, and they listen to you and they receive more from you. So this Better Together is just the linchpin or the jet fuel to get it started, to open up amazing possibilities. When we just get out of our head, which we have so much bombarding us, but when we stop for a second and just look around at the possibilities of, by knowing you, how am I better and what can I contribute to you? And I'm even talking right to you guys right now, like, how can I contribute powerfully to you in ways you hadn't thought of before? And I'm already feeling it in reverse, just the ability to get up this morning and have this conversation with, two dynamic guys who are doing something that no one asked you to do. No one asked you to. You just showed up and you said, here's my idea. And you're bringing so much inspiration to people, getting people's morning off to a great start. No criticism. And also, I love the letting go. Like, I didn't know the format before here. I'm sorry. But like, because if you're living in that, like, we can refer back to it. I say we put it on the shelf and put it in a box. But there are times where we need to pull it off and examine something for how is that useful? How is that situation useful? But it goes back in a box. But by forgiving it and letting go of it, you are free. You have unloaded yourself. You're free to go forward positively, with optimism, with hope, and with trust for others. Bad things will still happen, but you are putting the Vegas odds in your favor by adopting forgive, focus, and fly rather than living back there. So,
Lord, you blessed us and honored us with that. And I'm so humbled right now. I appreciate you saying all that because it's true. And that's where we're trying to come from. And you get where we're coming from. And that's why I love you so much. And we're so excited to have you. You know what we're about and what we're trying to do. And you're right. No one asked us to do this. We do this out of pure love for the business, out of pure love for people. And we just want to have fun. We love what we do, you know, and I put a post out last night. It was just a picture of me. And I said, it was me with the mic by me. And I said, I love what I do. And it is. I love this. I've never been more in love with what I do than right now. This moment in this very second, actually, I'm so excited to be here. Having you here gets me excited. I'm a little misty. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not sweaty, but I feel a little sweat on me because I'm so excited. I don't know what that means. It's a good thing. I feel the spirit inside me. I feel energy inside me. I love that you're here and we're talking about this right now. It's so important, you know, and I know Lou's very excited that you're here too. You know, we've been talking about this for the last couple of days because he was worried because tomorrow morning we wanted to do this. We were supposed to be doing this Thursday morning, folks. You guys know our schedule is usually Tuesday, Thursday. We made a change. For one, we're super excited to have Laurie. We wanted to make sure we had her here this week, not any other week, right? Thursday would have been a little tough on the schedule for us. Lou has some family things that are getting ready to happen, but we were excited to be able to push it up to today and have it done even sooner. Because it's almost like that anticipation. It's, I love that anticipation, but you're just like, hurry, I want to do it. I want to do it. So I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so excited about this next question Lou's getting ready to ask you.
Well, pumped up.
Here we go.
Yes. Well, this one is probably an easy one.
It's a very easy one, actually.
Actually, they're all easy, but especially for somebody who keeps it as real as you do. But taking all of the experience, taking all the connections that you have, because that's ultimately what you're doing. You're mastering the way to make the connection. And it's just to people, right? Me linking up with my brother right here, there's nothing that is like this, right? That is like that link to connecting to a person. And you doing that is what you're making happen, whether it's from the actual customer to the person with the commodity, right? Or it's the vendor to the client, right? You're making those connections happening. You're bridging all of those gaps. And that's why we even met. You came, you made that connection. I want to connect. And we get into that rhythm. So now that frequency is flowing. We're all marching in the same accord. We're all singing the same song. But what got you to starting Foster's Strategies? What started that for you? How did you get there?
How long is this show? I'm gonna go have to brew another coffee or 5.
Big cup. We got plenty.
30,000 foot view. Just like, I like to tell a little bit of the story because I love to give hope. And it's not all a sad story, but it was a challenging story, right? So I go from being in a marriage where financially we were successful, but personally we were not. And at 29, I found myself after 12 years of marriage needing to leave a marriage. Okay. And so I had only ever worked for him. I was very young when I got married, had 3 kids very young. By 22, I had 3 kids. And that's not a sad story. I was fine. I was a very adult kid because of the way I was raised. And so all that weirdness. But so I've got these teenagers and I did a few jobs, got hired from one job to another. So I never was applying for jobs, but I got into the car business at 34. And so a lot later for most people. But when you think now about the foundation that I had after running a successful construction company, being a mother to teenagers, all of the, I played piano for church every Sunday, and I was all the volunteering for everything. And so I had a ton of accomplishments in my life, but nothing that I could put on a resume. Right. So I figured selling things was a way that I could bet on myself, but I'm not a salesperson. If you saw my post last night, I'm pretty upset about some of the sales trainers that are emerging out there that are just like a throwback to the things that we've just run away from. Right. And so I go and, long story short, I was told in 2001, after working really hard for a dealership and always being in the top few of 33 salespeople, that women just could not be management in the car business. So they sat me down in a glass office in the middle of the showroom. This is a fact. And they were like, we love you. You're doing a great job. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll take care of you. But it just doesn't work out, Laurie. And I held it together. I asked a couple questions, went to the restroom, bawled for like an hour. And then I was like, how do I go home and tell my teenage kids this, right? That this is 2001. And so anyway, you forgive it and you let it fuel you. And I was like, I'll watch my language here because I want to use language at this point. I'm like, forget this, forget this. I'm going to go. And I nailed a management job across town within 2 months. And I'd never been a manager before. From there, I determined that this is going to sound a little self-aggrandizing, but remember, I was older. I was watching young men be promoted who were coming in hung over, but the fact that they were male, they were getting promoted to management positions. They didn't care about the company. They didn't care about the customers. They didn't care about the outcomes of their ever-rotating sales staff. They just happened to be born male, right? And so I used that, though. Now, because of that, it made my journey harder, but my determination never let up. So I wound up working for several other dealerships, moved myself to Boston to learn that market. And then I wanted to see if I wasn't just good at this business in Michigan, but was I good at the business? Found out I was, moved back to Chicago, back and forth to Michigan a few times. And then I became a speaker and national spokesperson for Cars.com for 3 years in 100 cities a year. Now I'm like, am I good at this? I'm good. Every day I'm in an audience. But the thing was, it wasn't about me getting that affirmation. Everywhere I went, people had the same needs and the same kind of Neanderthal managers everywhere. So they were hearing all of this good stuff and they're like, but we can't go back and do this. So I did that for 3 years, 100 cities a year, and I still got airline miles to prove it. And then I went to AutoNation for 5 years on a special ops team, trying to go back and contribute to retail. Still ran into some of those, institutional legacy thinking things. And I'm like, you know what? If I want to do it the right way, the best way, I can't tell you I have the best solutions. If I'm hindered by corporate goals, I'm going to just absolutely start my own company, and I'm going to say what needs to be said, and I'm not going to worry. So
come on.
That's how I started. That's the short, long story of how I got. So 23 years, like I just had my 23rd anniversary in automotive. Is there?
Hey. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. You're amazing. I mean, I know I sound like Alex Flores right now. You're amazing, but you are. I mean, gosh bless, that story is amazing. Folks, if you heard that, that is what the women have to go through. But that's a powerful woman. That's a woman who did not look at those struggles and those hills and say, you know what, I'm not going to climb it. She said, I'm going to jump over those hills. Not only am I going to jump over it, but I'm going to be the best version of myself. And I'm going to make sure that you all see this. And you didn't do it to spite anybody, but it fueled you. It definitely fueled you to be like, you know what? You think that this, no. And it's facts. And it's so crazy that the world's like that. It's still like that. It's a lot of stores. There's still a lot of stores that are like, I don't want women in here. And that's so crazy to me.
I'm going to give your listeners one little tip right now. Sometimes, like, I'm not a particularly organized religion person, but I am a spiritual person. And I was out brooming cars, like snow off of cars, if you haven't done this before. And I was saying, I'm looking inside at the managers, right? And I'm going like, and this is, again, no, they're fine people, right? But I'm like, I am smarter than them. I care more about this business, these people, my customers, this industry. I'm going to act every day from this snow broom is not going to define me. I'm going to act every day from this moment forward like I own this freaking organization, or that I'm going to consult to it. And so every day, no matter what job I had or what city or state I was in, that is exactly how I've operated. It's like, what if I'm in charge? If I was in charge, what would I do? I can keep that to myself, but my mind went into problem solving and critical thinking. And some people say, well, just think about when you're in charge what you do, but most people don't remember that. I never forgot a thing. I can go back and list hundreds of situations where I say, here's how they solved it. Here were 5 other options I came up with. And it wasn't even my problem, but it's like my mind now, I am a performance strategist because I see everything as a puzzle and I can put it together. And when I say, hey folks, I don't care what problem you bring to me, I'm going to be able to help. It's because that is exactly how I wired my mind to work like that. I chose it.
You love it. It gets you excited to help people. When there's a challenge put in front of you and you can overcome that challenge, which by being a woman, you have to do that your whole life, which is amazing. It's what makes you so strong at what you do. But also on the flip side is you're intelligent, period. You understand how to problem solve. You're a solutionist, a solutionary. You are all those things. Lou and I, we believe in that whole certified solutionary group, right? And that's our thing. That's our whole thing that we're starting to start up right now.
I love that.
And we believe that, and we believe in solutionaries, just like you out there doing some amazing things. That's why we had to have you on the show. I'm so excited to have you here this morning. You have people talking about you so amazing. You have April Palmer, one of my favorite women in the world too. She says, we just got to interview her yesterday.
She sparked off this series.
She did spark off the series. She says you're one of the most intelligent, savvy, and kind humans that she knows. You are going to change the world. Fact, she's already changing the world. I love what she's doing. That's why she's on the Car Guy Coffee podcast right now. And then Honey says, I am loving this story. I know Laurie said 30K views, but I read the full book. Hearing this, I know Laurie gets it in a real way. Mm-hmm. Facts. And then April says, practice behaviors for the job you want, not the one you currently have. Laurie inspires me to chase my dreams. Oh, that is so touching. And she's so right. Inspiring is what you are. That's such a good word, inspiring.
Well, I tell people the whole story because it's not like it was I wasn't a kid of a dealer. There was no reason guys, listen, there was no reason for me to stay in automotive after what I saw the first 3 months. No reason. I was not told the truth about pay plans. The pay plans changed all the time. I was in an incredibly misogynistic environment. And I say, I watch language, Fred, as you know, I watch language closely. And I at that point was in a male dominated industry or at least environment, right? And it was dictated by testosterone and energy drinks and sweaty guys yelling at each other. But now, and this is true, I've seen things that I had never seen before in my life. Holy cow. But now I say, I have evolved to the point and I am empowered to the point where I say I am in a predominantly male industry. And so it's my choice to be here, but it's my choice also to shine a light on all of the things that they can do to lift their businesses, lift their performance. And that includes, that doesn't make talking about women in automotive my only conversation, but that is a part of the solutionary formula. So because if you don't have that, you're missing a huge piece of your culture, your image to your customers, your profitability, opportunities. So anyway, so I don't do the girl power, thing. I do you're missing out by not having, and here's why. I like to put math behind it, not a movement of hire girls, because they hire girls, but then they don't pay them because they're in limited jobs.
Wow.
So we talked about that a little bit, Fred.
We did. She's so right. And folks, this isn't she's not stating stuff that's just no one knows. It's almost obvious too. And that's what's so sad about it. 80% of dealers out there are doing it the wrong way. And I hate to say that's a big number, but it's facts. They're doing it the wrong way, not just with females, but with every process, with their customers, with everyone. You see salespeople sometimes when a woman walks on the lot, and this is not even a saleswoman, this is a customer that walks on the lot and they're like, is your husband going to be here today? What the hell is that question? What is that? I don't get that. Do you assume that women can't make decisions by themselves? Matter of fact, I've been doing this long enough to know that the women usually make all the decisions. So why are you asking that question? You're looking like a Jackie. That's all I'm going to say. You look stupid when you ask that kind of question.
I like Jackie. I'm going to borrow that. I'm working on finessing some of my well-earned dealership language. and I'm just going to keep re-anchoring to your term solutionaries, because certified or not, there are a lot of people out there telling you what's wrong. And you just said something really powerful, and I want to tie this in. You said 80% of the dealers are doing it wrong. Here's the problem. 80% or more of the people that they're turning to solve it for them are doing it wrong. 80% of the people that are doing to solve it are doing it for money, not for the people. And so when I look at it, it's like, so even when they're like, you know what, we've got to do things a little different, they dial the phone and they get just a retread that left the business to get his name in lights. I say his name in lights because that's a lot of it, right? And just go like, it's all about me. It's not about me. It's about you. And I think that's one of the things that really set me apart when I was truly in a different room or conference every single day of people. And I was like, they came here to learn. They dropped everything and they're here by their choice. And it's my job to deliver them 5, 10, 20 times more than they even thought they were going to get, because they gave me their time, which there's nothing more valuable than their time. And like, I've got to bring it, because these people are hungry for solutions and they're not going to get support probably in the environment they went to. They are seekers like me. I've got to power them up and give them as much hope and confidence and tools as I can in this 3 hours that I would have with them. And there's nothing that brought more joy to me. Yes, I brought my energy and enthusiasm and insights and all that stuff. They're seeing the lights going on in their eyes, their pens going down on the paper, their hands going up, them coming up afterwards, to feel like you could help a group of seekers just even go to the next step so they could see a little bit differently what's around them. If you lift people 6 inches, try that sometime. Just step on one step and look at how the view changes. If I could just get them one step up, maybe somebody else will take them the next step, or their own actions will, right? And suddenly we can see different horizons and different opportunities. That's all I can do, is hope that I am this little bit of change and this little bit of lift for them.
And that's it. And you're doing it. I love how you use that analogy of like stepping up one step, 6 inches taller, and the view does change. Lou, I wish I could. Lou's a little shorter than me, about 6 inches. Now I'm gonna do that with my chair. My view's a little bit nicer, but honestly, it makes 100% sense. I love how you broke it down that way, because the view does change. It's weird how you can just go, like you said, 6 inches higher and you see things differently, and that's it. And then you can keep taking another step, and sometimes then you start taking your own steps. But being able to help somebody take that first step, that's the scariest step. The first step is always the biggest, hardest, scariest step you make. But when you're able to help somebody do that, it helps them get that confidence to build and start making their own steps, just like a child. When you first hold a child.
And remember this too, when they give you the trust of your time, like when somebody comes up to you to ask you a question, that probably was hard for them to do, remembering that and doing everything you can to drop their defenses, welcome their question, even if it's off the wall or whatever. You're like, how did you come up with a question like that? Or tell me like, even if you don't really know, like, give me some context behind that so I can try to help me understand where that came from, because they're seeking, they might not be able to articulate. People often can't articulate what they need or what they're looking for. But when somebody turns their trust to us, that's because that's what it is. When they ask us a question, it's our job to just go like this and just hear it clear, clean, and just go like, I've got to receive this question, open my mind and go like, what do they need to hear? How do I need to help them where they are right now? Not just a plug and play, hit the button on the back. Here is the solution for that. No, what does that person need? What do they need? And give it to them liberally.
I love it. I love how you do that. Like, because it's true. No robotic stuff. I don't like, it's not just straight from a script. We get and scripts are good guides, but they're not meant for you to use all the time. They're meant for you to turn into your personal. And then once you read customers, it just teaches you the process of how people think. That's all a script really is. You can read them verbatim, but you sound like you're reading them verbatim. No one gets that. People want to deal with people. And that's what's so great about what you're doing, is you really are reading people and you're trying to figure out a way to translate for them in their language. And that's where we talk about language a lot. And you're very good at understanding that language.
I do this even with client. I have a prospective client that we've talked a few times, great people. And I just love what they do. I'll be talking about them. I talk about a lot of people online that I have there's no fiscal connection. There's no transaction of money happening. But like when I see something cool happening, I'm like, I think y'all should know this, right? And so he was saying, okay, I think we're at the point where I need you to send over an SOW, a scope of work or an RFP. And like, I'm like, oh, I don't do that. He's like, what? Like, what consultant kind of person says? I said, because I don't have a plug and play, because I said, I need you to actually do the work of tell me where you are. I need to see some of your financials. I need to see like where you are and where you want to go. Because I early in my Foster strategies, I would send a contract out and people are like, yeah, thanks, but no. Yeah, thanks, but no. Thanks, but I didn't know what part was the like no. So I don't. So I'm the wonkiest contractor or consultant you're ever going to find, because I don't send those out. You have to tell me what you want, and then we just make an agreement of. And so here's another tip I'll give to people is don't tell them what you're going to charge them. Just I say, let's find out what makes sense in the budget you have and the profit we're going to get out of this. And let's find something that makes sense, because the answer needs to be yes, because you called me. So I'm going to do everything I can to make it work in your budget or in your mind or in your real life, whether it's payment up front, payment month to month, delayed payment, part of your company, equity. I do equity sometimes, because like whatever's going to work, because the reason you called me is to get solutions like this. And I don't want you to miss out on what we can do together. So I just make it work.
Let me tell you something. I needed to hear that. That's, Lou and I, you're really speaking to us right now. It's almost like the Lord put his hand in here and said, hey, we need to speak to Laurie today. And she needs to tell you some tips. And you just, thank you. That's all I'm going to say is thank you for what you just said there. That's exactly what I need to hear today. That's amazing.
Okay, good.
Amazing. I can't help it, but it is. It's so amazing, right?
It's funny how when you set yourself up with great people and great conversations, the coincidences that happen.
and that's what I love about that. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I'm just going to say that it's a full assembly. All of these parts
Amen.
are all put together in order, and order is key, right? The bringing your word to a conference is really coming to declare that order, to declare this is how it should go. No different than a pastor at a pulpit, right? He is only declaring the word based off of the truth. Now, you highlight those incredible people that show up to the conferences that are diligently seeking. They're out there looking for truth. That's the word says that those that diligently seek truth will find it.
Yep.
People that are trying to find those answers, they end up finding you. And if it comes with a price, it ultimately comes with what it is that they're seeking. And that's the truth in going forward.
And it's funny you mentioned conferences, and I'm at once I rue the fact that I'm 5'10", because good Lord, I am a tall woman. And then I wear heels at a conference, at least until my feet just like scream at me so loud. But like people will find me, people will find me. But I think part of it is I will say, I'm going to be wearing a green dress today. I'm going to be wearing find me and talk. People will find me and I don't even know them, even though I have a huge following on LinkedIn. I don't know all of these people personally, but my LinkedIn family, I call it, is very, very germane to what we do in automotive and the ancillary businesses serving it, even whether it's banking or digital services or whatever. But people will find me and say, I just wanted to tell you this, or keep inspiring us. I'm like, who are you? And even when they walk away, I'm like, I don't know their name. I had one woman come up to me at a conference not too long ago, and she said, I manage $1 million a year budget. No, I'm sorry. $800,000 a month budget for a large dealer group. Nobody's talking to me because I'm a woman and I'm just walking around here. And she was smaller in stature, right? And so I just took a few minutes and I just said, basically what you guys did, I'm like, dust off whatever you just went through, dust it off, and just walk up to the next group of the cluster of guys that are talking to each other and dismissing you, and just walk right up and state who you are and what you're there to do. I need to talk to someone who can help a marketing director for a large organization, and just stand there. Just stand there. But she was about in tears. She was there to do a job and she couldn't. And I'm so glad that, and I do not know her name to this day. I could describe what she was wearing, how she looked, and where we were. But I'm hopeful that just that little bit gave her something to go forward with powerfully and not live in being dismissed. Here's what to do when you are dismissed, right? Because it's going to happen.
And I see you giving tips to people, and I know that person, bless her heart, I know that she's out there and she did grow from that. She did learn something very valuable. That being said, this is perfect lead into the next question I have for you. It's, as we came up in this business, we all do. We have mentors. We have people that have helped us and given us advice like that, right? Who is somebody that sticks out to you through your career that helped you get to the next level?
It's nobody from inside the business.
Okay.
So it's all, and it shifts and it changes. But silly things like Tony Robbins, and I shouldn't say silly things, but
Robbins.
I'm not going to say who I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to say there are even then things that you can learn from everybody. I look at even like political models like Condoleezza Rice and Jean Kirkpatrick, right? Like people who withstood the storm, who were focused and determined, and also multi-tiered, multi-leveled, multi-layered, right? Like I am a full human being. I just have the pleasure of taking all of this and putting it into automotive. And so it's like the books I read, Brene Brown. I just operate. I'm a very avid reader. You can't see all my bookcases here, but you see a little. But so it's that inspiration. David Goggins, like, okay, look at me. I am a huge Goggins fan, and he is like. I even had the chance to speak to him at a conference one time, and I just said, I'm probably not your normal demographic. I've got my fourth grandkid on the way, and I go and here he is, this like ripped former Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, all of this, but who he is inspires me, and he and people like Jesse Eitzler say, remember who you're supposed to be. Remember who you are supposed to be. And so that drives me every day. It's like not me saying I want to be in the spotlight. It's like I am supposed to serve light, right? And so the bigger stage that I have, the more people that I can talk to and touch. So I don't want the spotlight on me. I want the spotlight on everyone and lift them all.
Oh my goodness. You dropped some really good names there that inspire me too. Those are outside the car business facts. Here's the deal, folks. The car business isn't about being a car salesperson. It's about being a human being. It's about treating everybody good. It's about listening, just like being a friend. There's no different. It doesn't matter what translates. Business. So if you're a good person, get in this business and help change it. If you're a good person and you're being told to do it like a bad person, don't do it that way. There's other dealerships. There's other people out there that will teach you how to do it the right way. Don't let yourself get caught up in the hype of, I'm going to be a sleazy car salesman. Well, guess what? You're going to be gone quick, and you're not going to be in this business for a long time, and you're going to hate it in about 3 years. You're going to be like, man, why did I do this? Do it the right way so you feel fulfilled every single day. So you do it the right way. That's what people like Tony Robbins, David Goggins, be the best version of yourself. I'm not trying to be Lou. Lou's not trying to be me. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be the best version I can be so I can share the light, share as much.
Just so you know, you two are better together.
100% we are better together. This is my accountability partner. This is my brother. This is the guy that keeps me saying, I can't quit. I can't quit because he's not going to quit on me. I will not quit on him. That is my brother, right? So that's what we do. And that's why we're better together. And that's the same thing as getting connected with you, Laurie. We're better together. We are. The more we can share your story, the more we can share everybody's story and make this business better, make life better for people, the better we can do. Even if it's just 1% that I leave on this planet better, that's it. I'm so happy with that. I just want to make sure that I'm always looking to be that way. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to probably do some wrong things and say some wrong things sometimes, but that's not in my heart. That's because I'm a human being, and it's okay. We're not perfect. We're just trying to be the best version we can possibly be. And that's it. So forgive, focus, and fly, and keep moving. Right. So I love it. You are speaking some really amazing stuff, Laurie. We could do this interview for 4 hours. I already know it.
This could go. I can't wait for the follow-up. And I can't wait for the follow-up on this one. To really do it live and just keep making these connections. I know that we're going to see each other so much.
We're going to run to each other quite a bit. That's the frequency thing.
Raising of the flag, this exposure with light. right? Great light brings healing, right?
Yeah.
I know when I had my daughter inside of the incubator, the first time my child was in an incubator, right? You're putting a light on the child to help them grow, almost like they're really chicks, you know what I mean, inside of a hatchery, right? You're trying to apply that light, and it's so therapeutic and it's so healing. Your body needs to have some of that access to sunlight. We're designed that way. Every single organism inside of the side of trees, grass, the flowers, they're reaching towards light. They're pursuing that light. They're trying to get to it because it's feeding them. You're doing that inside of the industry by way of exposing people to who it is that they are, and just the small crack in the door maybe of that path that they can take to where it is that they're going. And so many times there's the shade, right? There's a shade that's there that they just can't see it. They don't even know that on the other side of where it is they're trying to go, that pursuit that they have is right there in front of them.
Right.
You crack that door open to give them that light.
It's so funny because you're talking about things growing. You're making me think of an analogy that just happened in my yard. Like I have a lawn service and all that, but I love taking care of all the trees and plants. Right. I'm a project queen. I was redoing my whole deck last weekend and all my furniture. You also have to prune out what's not necessary, that's choking back life. And so I have this tree pruner. I don't have the super deluxe one with the chainsaw on the end because I do not trust myself with this thing, but I have a tree pruner, and so remembering I'm almost 6 feet tall, and then I can extend this thing, and I get up there and I have some trees that not just is it bothersome to the house or something, but I have this beautiful Japanese maple. When you guys come over, you'll see it. It's on right off the deck. And
that's an invitation. I'll be there. Don't
come on over.
But
there was a scrub tree that's growing over the top of it. And I noticed that it's a huge Japanese maple. It's like the growth on one side is getting inhibited. And it's my job. I can either just say, that's a lot of work, and it's a tree, it'll figure it out, or whatever, give up. I was out there last weekend wailing away on the scrub tree next to it, trimming all this stuff back. And it's remarkable how already the sun is healing and feeding that side of the tree so it can continue to grow. I didn't kill the other tree. I didn't have to, but sometimes even in life, we have to prune out what's unnecessary that's inhibiting growth. And you've got to you've got to see it, and you've got to do the work and just let it go. Forgive it, focus, and fly.
you are see, that's what I'm saying. You're speaking our language, girl. You don't even know. That is exactly what it's about. And Lou loves that, because Lou actually did a great video about a year ago about this one plant that he had in front, and it was like these weeds were going through that they're like imposters. They almost look like the actual plant, but what it has to do, it suffocates it, and it causes the real plant to not grow and be.
But
not
fruit is the differentiator, right? It separates it. You can't dispute fruit. And sister, you gave me a seriously sweet segue to this next question, which is helping us to understand how. Did you like that? Did you like?
I loved it. I loved it. That's why I laughed. I was like, "That's cute." That was awesome.
But the pruning. What has been the greatest pruning inside of your life? What has been the biggest lesson that had to cut on you in order for you to go to that next level of growth? What's the hardest lesson you had to learn? Becoming who it is that Laurie Foster is today?
I think I'm going to answer this with a quote from Mel Robbins' book. I love her anyway, but she said, "No one is coming." And so when you realize that, it's not as much as pruning as realizing there is no one that's going to help. Because no one can know your dreams. This doesn't have to be an alarming thing, but no one else is going to feel my dreams the way I do. Other people aren't necessarily going to understand my vision. I can't expect to embed in them what's in my heart and my head and understand why I keep going forward. And so it's not pruning as in eliminating them. Like I said, with my tree, the tree's still there, but their influence on me pruning that back so that I can just go forward and have space to grow what I believe I was put here to grow and do. So it's not eliminating, but it's trimming it back and remembering Mel Robbins saying, no one is coming. Like those people around me, there's a ton of great people, but they have their limiting beliefs and they don't know what I'm fully capable of until we have a wide open conversation. So the crowd, I have a small group of friends. I have 1 million friends, but I have a small group of friends that are my true north and all of that. And I think realizing that where I spend my time, I think COVID did that to a lot of us, but like pruning back the influence of others is part of that. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's the right answer. But that's my answer.
There is no wrong answer for one, but two, it made all the sense. It was like, to me, boom. I get what you're saying. It is. Sometimes we listen to too many things and we have so many opinions hitting us. It's hard to like, what am I doing? What's right? What's wrong? You have to prune it back and really figure out what your real tight circle is.
And sometimes that pruning needs to happen in our own head.
Amen. Amen. It's so right on that. It's so right. You know, and that's great. And so all that leads to some amazing stuff. So far, we've talked about your why. We've talked about what got you into starting your Foster strategy company. We talked about the people that have influenced you that are outside the business, the books that you've read. We've talked about the pruning that you've done, right? Let's talk about your greatest reward. What has been the greatest reward for all the work that you put together in the last 23 years?
People. People like realizing now, and you've got to know me to know, like, I'm very humbly going to say this, but people saying, don't stop, you are making a difference, and don't stop, you're inspired. And people that I don't know, and they walk up to me or they send me a note, they've never liked one post, they've never made a comment, but they send me a message, or I get a phone call out of the blue I get calls from CEOs, like if I told you who calls me, I'm making a difference. I am speaking a truth that I believe needs to be said out here. There is a different path. And I'm not telling people that there's only this path, but there are different paths than these ruts that we've found ourselves in. I always say, I can take you 70 miles down an hour down a highway, but you're choosing to go down a hill and go off-road and get in a ditch, and all that time I can say that, and people are believing that. And I think that's because I did the work. Like, I got out there and I started saying the truth, the message. It's not always popular. I mean, I get messages, I get backlash, like, you understand that you're a woman in a male dominated business, you shouldn't be talking like this. Like, I get backlash, but I go, like, for every time that happens, I will get 1,000 people that are like, do not stop what you're doing. And when I can feel like I'm making a difference, even in the lives of strangers, we'll never meet, we'll never have coffee, we'll never be buddies, but I'm giving them what they need. Like, I'm going to get Missy here, but like, this is what I meant to do for this business, is stay in this business, the business that wasn't always good to me. I'm going to be good to it by my choice every single day.
Wow, that is incredible. And it's an announcement.
I love that.
What it is that you are and what it is that has come to our industry. You jumped inside of the industry, and yes, it may have been the square peg in the round hole. It may not have seemed right, and everybody may have told you that you didn't belong, or that you're going to have too much of a fight to pursue forward. But this problem came to you because you're supposed to crush this giant. You're supposed to bring down those walls, right? And bring the exposure that's needed for other people to have access to it, for women to be bold enough to jump in there, be fully who it is that they are, unapologetically, be of high standard, and let other men raise up their standard as well as they go to the next level. And it's equal opportunity. That's what I love about it. It's equal opportunity. Everybody has the option to make the choice, to make the step up, to start going in the right direction. What I honor about you is that you have one hand over here welcoming somebody else, and the other one clearly pointing where it is that you're going. And you are so aware of where it is that you are, that you help to dial in other people to where it is that they are, because otherwise they can't go where they need to go. If you don't know where you're at, you don't know how to apply directions even when you get them. And that's what you're doing, and we honor that. And man, we are gleaming from it. We're taking notes from it. Going to go back, re-listen to all of this.
This is a great episode.
So inspiring.
You dropped some really amazing stuff, and like stuff that people need to hear.
Yes.
Now, folks, if you need to get a hold of her, she's very easy to get a hold of. She's all over social media. She's on LinkedIn. She's on Facebook. She's everywhere. Just go out and contact her. If you just want to tell her thank you for your inspiration, trust me, it's amazing when you can do stuff like that too.
Give her a cheers.
Give her a big cheers. Do all that stuff. Make sure you reach out to her. Is there any specific way you prefer people to get a hold of you?
LinkedIn is actually the easiest because I have my phone number there. My website is right there. LinkedIn is everything. I'm going to be jumping into some other social media platforms pretty soon, which I'm really excited about. But LinkedIn, if you just find me, and it's Laurie D. Foster. If you go to linkedin.com/in/Laurie D. Foster. But because I was one of those people that found out early that business accounts are a bust. It is your personal account. That's the one. And I've got about 21,000 followers and connections there. And they wind up having conversations with each other because the whole mindset is we learn and we grow from each other. But LinkedIn is the best. My phone number, 269-217-0414. I tell people, somebody called yesterday and they said, you told me one time the easiest thing to do was call. I'm like, it's old school, but like dial me or text me, because like it's like, and I answered. She goes, I can't believe you answered at 7:00. This is last night. And I was like, I am accessible. I'm going to tell you guys something that it's sort of personal, but it's sort of fun, right? Is someone said one time, Laurie, you work too hard. Well, people say that a lot. I am thrilled that the life that I've chosen with this work and starting my own company, people talk about like on your tombstone, nobody ever says, I wish I'd spent more time at the office. Right. Actually, we're going to need to do my tombstone in like 12 font and anything but Comic Sans. But I was blessed. I was fortunate, and I chose to have a life where my family was, of course, first and foremost, but I chose to live with and surround myself with people at work that it doesn't feel like I'm working. This is my hobby, right?
Yes.
Like, this is what I want to do. So when I get that call, a couple weeks ago, a guy that everybody knows out there, he was saying something, and I'm like, just give me a call. I think I can help you. And he's somebody that literally everybody knows out there. And he's out in Arizona, so it wasn't late for him, but it was late at night for me. I just wound up walking up and down the street, talking to him, and just going like, that did not feel like, oh gosh, I just clocked out at 11:30 at night. I was lifted, and I know that he had new solutions. We've been talking since. He has a very successful company, but it was that moment was the right moment for him. Now, I'm not talking about not taking time for myself, but I create my own balance. Part of creating your balance is doing work that isn't just work I love, like, oh, it's fun. It is joyful. There's a difference between fun, like we're playing ping pong, and it's like, it's enjoyable because, like Fred, when you and I talked last week, I'm uplifted and I feel like I'm contributing, and I feel like I'm getting contributed back to. Tell me what hobby, like if I go play tennis, which I love, that's fun too. But like talking to you felt like that, right? So my life is, so my tombstone is going to have a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff, because I do get to live the life. And by starting my own company, now I can contribute with abandon. Nobody's telling me who I can and can't contribute to, what I should charge for and what I shouldn't. I don't charge for a lot of things. When people need help, I'm just going to help them. People know that about me.
Come on.
And here we go. Like,
we love that about you, and that's why we had to have you on the show. As soon as especially after the conversation I had with you last week, I was like, you're getting on my show ASAP. So I'm so glad we had you here today. I'm so glad that we got to do this interview. Laurie, this isn't the end of the conversation between you and us.
I need to have that conversation.
We need to have, you and Lou need to have a combo also, right? But we all need to get together.
Hey, Lou, if you look on your screen, it says dial me. Like, and anybody, I can't always be everybody's ongoing lifeline, but if I can give somebody a suggestion, and because I do know a ton of people in this industry, I might know somebody that can help someone's problem even better. Like, that's Yeah, let's go.
You're
But
speaking from
anything you guys need, I want to acknowledge the two of you for what you're doing. And it's difficult for me to be inspired. It takes a lot. That's why I wasn't being dismissive when I said no one from the auto business inspired me, but that was a fact. But like, it's difficult for me to be inspired by a lot of the work that I see around us. You two are inspiring, and it's because it comes from within, and you have not just good intentions, you have pure intentions, right? Your intentions are to contribute. It's fun what you're creating, but there's also so much meaning to it that I want to tell you, when I walked up to meet you, I am inspired by what you do. I do want to know more, and I am here to contribute to you however you need. You've got me.
Well, we appreciate that, and the feelings are mutual. We are inspired by you. Anything we can ever do to help you get your voice louder too, we're there. We want to be part of that. So let's team up and let's be friends for life. I want to be part of that little circle you talked about. Yes, like, you got your friend, you got your LinkedIn friends, but then you got your friends, and I want to be in that. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation today. We love you. We honor you. Folks, you see how you can get in contact with her. It's right down there. You can call her. You can go to LinkedIn, message her. Watch her videos. They're inspiring. I love the way she cuts. And she had this one where she did like the Diet Coke moment. She kept drinking it. That stuff to me is fire. That's the kind of videos that keeps my attention. And you know how to do that. And you're doing it the right way. I honor you. You are amazing. You're awesome. You're everything that I look forward to when I meet other people that are helping me elevate my game. Because when you're in a room full of people, you want to be around people that are going to help you get there. And you're definitely that person. So I love you. And thank you for being here today.
Completing this 5-liner. You are 100% CGC approved.
That's right. We're so
Thank
excited.
You so much. We're excited to have you brewing with us.
Oh, wow. What a great show.
Car guys and car gals. Thank you so much for being here with us, doing what it is that we're doing and we enjoy doing, and that's upshifting and uplifting together. The auto industry needs more Lauries. The auto industry needs more subprime heroes. The auto industry needs more of you, Solutionaries, that are looking for people like this that are bringing a message of hope, that are healing the broken pieces of our industry and are looking to fly to new heights. There is so much more that we can accomplish when we start working together, making the commitment to connect and being better together.
That's right.
Folks, I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fredlin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with
Laurie Foster.
Excited. Go have an incredible day.
Yes.
Bless
love
the people that you're
love
around.
on everyone.
Be contagiously confident.
Be the best you can be.
Let's brew.
Amen.
Thank
Let's
you
do
so
it.
much. We love you all. Once again, our incredible sponsors have brought you this great message. Think Ad Group
I love
has been brewing some solutions for all of you. And like Laurie, digging deep to raise up a light. Thank you, Think Ad Group, and thank you all. Laurie, we honor you, sister. Thank you for being here with us. Bravo. I want the cheering.
What a great show. What great information. We look forward to having a follow-up conversation with you. We love you. Go out and have the best day of your life. Folks, all you out there, you go out there and you use this energy, use this information, and you go out and you get everything that you need, and we're all happy. We love you all. Thank you, Laurie. We appreciate it. You all have a great day. I'm Fredlin Arts once again. I'm Fredlin Arts, the subprime hero. This is
Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And we were here with Laurie Foster. Are the strategist, the one who knows how to help you. So make sure you reach out to her and you go out and show her love today. Tell her how great it was for her to share her story today. Tell her how amazing she is, because she is. We love you. Thank you so much. Let's have a good day.
That's right. Let's get in beat together. Goodbye, everybody. Check us out at carguycoffee.com.